whisper it, but I think I finally found a Picross game that I actually really like. It's taken years, and it's all down to good theming, good vibes, and clever puzzles. It's called Squeakross Home Squeak Home, and in this game you are looking after your rodent friend, who is busy moving into their house, but it's totally furnitureless. You start off with a single room, and you'll be able to unlock multiple rooms the more puzzles you unlock. But to unlock the furniture, you need to complete the Picross puzzle that furniture relates to. And it will quite often be done on like a sideways slant or kind of from a certain isometric perspective, so that you're not just literally drawing out a tumble dryer or a bath or a shower or a lamp or like a pile of towels or anything that's inside this house whatsoever. But in order to then place it in the house, you do need to fill out the Picross puzzle to unlock it. And this is where the good vibes come in. So you'll start off with pages in your like rodent catalogue of things that you want to add to your house, and you'll be given a selection of like 5, 6, 7 different objects to choose from, and they'll unlock in batches the more that you complete. You pick the puzzle and it will dive you into the Picross game to complete, where you'll need to fill out the grid by placing your cheesy little squares in the areas where you're trying to map out the outline of the furniture piece that you're trying to unlock. If you've never played a Picross game before, the idea is that you've got a gridded format that you'll need to, almost like Minesweeper or a cross-stitch puzzle, try and work out exactly what squares you need to put in. It's all about mathematics and probability, and so you don't need to guess on these puzzles. It's all logic based, and that's one of the things I do like about Picross, but it also kind of means that big long games about Picross I often kind of rebound back off of, because there's only so much you can do with this unless you've got really good theming and vibes behind it. And this is where really Squeakross excels in its element, because you've got your cute little rodent dressed up in the clothes that you've unlocked for it, bouncing around in the background. If you want to, you can call your rodent for help and support, and they can either give you some suggested logic for a specific horizontal or vertical line, so that you can fill in some of the it must be those squares, but then still have some of the ones where it's a guess left open for you to try and solve through logic. Or you can ask it to solve one very specific square at random. Or you can ask the rodent to tell you whether or not you've done anything wrong, and that can be helpful if you've misunderstood some of the logic and need to have some course correction along the way. Completing a Picross puzzle is relatively simple, because what you're trying to do is work out, you can see the numbers on the horizontal and vertical lines. That's basically how many clumps of cheesy blocks you want to put together. So if it's a 1, then there'll have to be blanks either side, and you can put that in with red crosses so that you're marking out what your blanks will be. You don't have to do that, but I find that particularly helpful. If it's a 2, then it needs to be 2 together. If it's 8, 8, 10, 10, and so on and so forth. And so you'll be able to start off working out by logic which are the more solvable lines, and then that gives you other things to kind of hang off on. And what Squeakross does over time, the further you get into the game, the more abstract and more predictability these Picross puzzles start to become, because the grids get larger or thinner and longer and different sizes and shapes, which then makes you kind of have to play the logic game about, well, I think in this 8 block there's going to be 3 or 4 blocks that it definitely has to be, and the other ones will move around that. And that then helps you understand what else to fill in off of the ones that you know definitely exist. And that's really how I go about solving Picross puzzles. Very slow, sure, and assured, but I get there in the end. Once you've then solved the puzzle, you'll then get access to that specific furniture to place down one of them. And it will then unlock, when you've completed everything in a page in the home shopping book, a special version of each of these furniture puzzles too, which when you complete those, which kind of puts it in a slightly different perspective and order to kind of unlock, you'll then unlock variants of it. So that might be different colours or slightly different layouts of certain like desks or kitchen furniture, or different colours for the toaster or the rice cooker, whatever it is that you've got. And that means that you can add variety and also have more than one thing in your house as well. So if you're a bit toaster or fridge freezer mad, you can go nuts. But you will have to complete those puzzles twice to unlock it. There's also different homes that you can unlock over time too, and that makes up the over 300 puzzles, of which you've then got varieties of them to try and unlock stuff as you go. You can disable all of the assists if you want, but all of the Help and support is there at your fingertips should you need it. And it just is so wholesome and relaxing. There's some good lo-fi beat music going on in the background to make it feel chirpy yet chilled. And you can click on the rodent and it will go off absolutely nuts, squeaking away and interacting with all of the different object pieces that you put into the place that you're building for your rodent anyway. And it's quite cute to say, almost sim-like, interacting with all of the different objects that you have. This is a beast of a game in terms of size. There's 650 puzzles to solve. And this is the first time really ever that I've felt that a nonogram game really has stuck with me, and I'm quite happy trying to solve all 650 because I'm just enjoying being in the world of Squeakross and just the vibes that it brings. This is my favourite cosy nonogram game, and nonogram game hands down really, that I've ever played, and so it gets a 2 hearty thumbs up from me. And hopefully, if you enjoy nonograms, this will be a good one for you too. Take care.